Pegasus Podcast, presented by Night Sports Now. UCF news, views, and a few hot takes. Now, here are your hosts, Bailey Go Knights Adams and Christian Charge On Simmons.
Welcome into episode 318. Be sure you're following us on Twitter at BaileyJAdams22, at ByCASimmons, at Night Sports Now, and at Pegasus Podcast. You can also email us at PegasusPodcast@ksn@gmail.com. I think we're here.
We're trying to be here. We're trying to be present. We've been having, this is day 2 of attempting to record this week's episode due to internet issues. If you're on YouTube, as you can see, I am now as close to my router as physically possible within my apartment. So now everyone can see my apartment.
There's not just a blank wall behind you. You don't look like a hostage anymore. Genuinely,
this is a better setup. I don't know. Have we ever explained why I have a blank wall? Is that anything that's ever come up to the listeners before?
I don't know.
Far and away, not from listeners, but from people in my life, the number one criticism I receive on the podcast is my background. Understandably so, because I do look like I'm providing some kind of hostage message.
It kind of works, though, for you. I don't know why.
I'm so much on my own that a background is not necessary. But basically the way it works is that I live in an apartment that does not have, hopefully I'm actually planning to move to an apartment that I'm going to have an office room in fairly soon. So that will change. But for now.
Didn't know that.
I told you that when you were here.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. I told our other friends. Sorry, my bad. But anyway, yeah. So all that's to be said is that I just do the podcast in my bedroom. So I actually there are things on the wall that I take down to do the podcast in a corner of my bedroom because it's like just photos of my friends and stuff. And I remove that because I feel like that would be weird to have on the podcast. So, and then I have a desk chair and a fold up office table that I set up in a corner of my bedroom. And that's why and for a while I was putting stuff on the walls. I tried to get other stuff and it just always looked bad because the photos that I have are pretty high up. So so that's why I have a blank background. But now I have this.
I actually provided you with things to put on your wall.
You have it. It's the Drip U thing behind you. I have
the Drip U and the helmet thing.
And what's extra funny is you got me those, and that was among my favorite gifts I've ever got from any of my friends. And it was just the simple effort of trying to put them up every week and take down my other stuff got too.
Listen,
annoying.
If you have an office at some point, they'll look great in your office.
September. This really is this is an excellent. I feel like in a completely different headspace than I normally do for the podcast because I'm just sitting on a couch. I'm just chilling right now.
You're sitting on a couch and the art behind you, it makes you look like you're way more put together than normal. And it's
because it's my nice art too. It's not.
You don't look as crazy as you normally do.
What makes it extra funny? I'm not going to turn the camera on because I'm not trying to give YouTube an apartment tour. But what I'm looking at right now is a framed panorama photo of the 2017 Royal I-4 and then a national champions framed photo over there. But instead, you have the impressionistic art instead of any of the UCF stuff that's out over here.
So yeah, we talked. We talked. We didn't talk to you guys yesterday. We tried to. We recorded about 12 minutes of the podcast, and then laptops died. Internet was bad. Things just got out of hand really quickly. And then we hopped on today, and things were pretty bad at first. Then Christian moved in front of said artwork, and if you're hearing this, we're good. And the funny part about all of this is this is kind of what makes our podcast, and this is going to be probably the most Pegasus podcast of all time because it is for the sickos. There's nothing going on in football. The way the transfer portal works now has I'm curious to see how this goes every year from now on, when we're mid-February and there's nothing happening. But we've got men's basketball, we've got softball, and we've got baseball uniforms specifically.
Yeah, we do.
About today. So
there is not a more Pegasus podcast way to preview the baseball season than we're not going to talk about one player on the team. We're just going to rank the 8 uniforms that they have for the season. I'm actually very excited for that segment, but you're going to have to wait for it. It's like a little treat, we're offering it as dessert. You're going to have to listen to more non-football stuff before we get there. But yeah, this will be interesting, and we'll have to figure out what we're going to do because I really don't. Full disclosure, I mean, you said it. We struggled. We tried to find a football topic for you guys because I know that for a lot of you, that's what you want to hear, and it's just. The portal, for the last few years with the way it was set up, where there was the December portal window that stretches out months, and then you're gearing up for spring ball, and then there's the spring portal window, so there's all this movement, excitement. It all wrapped up in 2 weeks this year. And I think that's better for the sport Like, I prefer that. Like, UCF went from no roster to a complete 2026 roster very quickly. But from a content perspective, it's not super ideal. So we're going to have some podcasts like this where we talk about some non-football stuff. If you don't listen, I won't judge you. This is for the sickos. If you are listening, you're my favorite.
Yeah. No, I haven't actually said it before, but the sickos are my favorite people that listen to this podcast. I appreciate all of you, but the sickos are like the ones that are with us at 1 a.m. when we're doing the post-game podcasts, and the ones who have been here for a long time and have heard some of the dumber conversations we've had. Appreciate all of you. But yeah.
We're going to do like what podcasts that have like tiering systems do, like, podcasts that are like premiums. And I listen to a couple podcasts like that have premiums. And I always feel like I'm like a peasant to them because they'll like do little like knowing nods and winks of like, and as our like premium listeners would know. And I'm like, screw you, man. But we should start doing that.
Well, that's interesting to hear you say that because at Pewter Report, we have a tiered system.
Oh, no. Well, no, that's great.
No, that's fine. It's good feedback. Because I'm curious now that you say that. I'm like, I wonder if the people who aren't like our platinum and premier members are like.
I'm not opposed to having tier systems I am for ours. We famously have refused to monetize this, even though we could make money at this point. But I just love you guys too much to take advantage of you like that. I don't have an issue with tiering systems. I think that's fine. I think that's normal for podcasts. It bothers me when there are ones who like have to make constant references to how valuable their high tier members are, and like, they'll know this thing, or like they listen. It's like, I get it. Like I've been listening for 2 years and I haven't subscribed. I'm not paying you money. It's not going to happen now. Like, just stop telling me what I'm missing. But whatever, it's fine. Everyone can figure out what podcast I'm talking about. It's not a UCF podcast, but it's like a national one. But
I know, but hearing this is just so funny because you're just describing my other job.
I'm sorry. I love it.
No, it's
my mic fell. Hope that didn't sound bad. I'm balancing it on the armrest of a couch. Can't believe this podcast doesn't have a premium tier. What a thought.
Yeah, we would have a stronger internet connection somehow if we did. Yeah, this is crazy. But we'll go through men's basketball first. And that's the other part of this whole not having football to talk about thing is like we did our podcast last week on Thursday. And we just happened to have that press conference to talk about from the previous week. Yep. But turning right around and doing another topic this week, we were like, there's just nothing has happened. So
nothing.
And even on the men's basketball topic, they've only played one game since our last podcast, and it did not go well at all. I will say.
Yeah, this has been weird pacing because then they're also going to go a week between games, which they're about halfway through right now. But yeah, men's basketball did play a game. Was a very fun watch. Hope you all got to watch it. They lost by. I'm sorry, I don't know the final score. I believe they lost by about 20, right?
I don't either.
Okay,
I think it was a 20-point game.
Could not be a better podcast than we are right now. But hey, do you want to tell people what happened to UCF in the net rankings following that game?
Absolutely nothing. Because net rankings.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it works, but UCF didn't move. Cincinnati climbed up with the win over a good UCF team at home, and that made the loss better for UCF. It's a quad one loss, so nothing happened.
Well, but again, it's not nothing happened. UCF, I cannot overstate how hilarious this is. UCF benefited from losing by 20. There is no other explanation for this than they benefited from the loss. UCF stayed at 44th in net, which is a very good spot to be, and they earned a Q1 win by losing by 20. Because no, they earned a Q1 win.
I don't think the Cincinnati one at home moved up to a Q1 win, did it?
I don't know how this works. Well, either way, the worst situation is they have a Q1 loss. They literally benefited from this. And on top of that, it's not just that. UCF's other wins have been aging really well. Like Kansas became the first team this year to knock off Arizona, so that Kansas win is just looking more valuable and more valuable. The funny thing about how men's basketball differs from football in college, and I think it's important for fans to understand this because I've seen like some fans were starting to freak out after the loss. And I totally get it. That was a really ugly loss to a team that you beat earlier in the season. I get it. I'm personally in the camp of this happens. It's the Big 12. Just don't let it snowball. Just take care of business at West Virginia, and I'm not going to be worried. But in football, how they decide the teams that make the college football playoff is very much based on who you lost to. They always compare losses. Wins rarely come up in college football discourse for the actual playoff. It's, Alabama lost to FSU and Notre Dame lost to Miami. That's all the comparison. College basketball, who you lost to doesn't really matter at all. What they're comparing is the wins and the value of your wins. And that's been the benefit of how well UCF did in the first half of their Big 12 schedule because they already have the wins they need. Like they have a tournament resume of wins. They don't need any more big wins this year. They just have to take care of business. And if they go 500 the rest of the way, they'll be fine. So it's just not letting this stuff snowball. It's not like West Virginia is a must-win game or anything like that this coming weekend, but just with how close they are to each other in the standings, and just since UCF's lost too, I think we'd all feel a lot better if they can just win that game, and we can breathe a sigh of relief, and UCF can move closer to being a lock in the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah, and so that's what we talk a lot about how dumb college football is. We don't talk a lot about basketball in general, but we don't talk a lot about how dumb college basketball is because, I'm looking at it now. UCF's 20-point loss at Cincinnati is worth more than their win at home against Cincinnati.
Yes.
The home win is still Q2. The 20-point road loss is a Q1 loss. Sure, man. I'll take it.
It's very normal. It's all very normal. But UCF, they're still 6th in the Big 12, I think. Yeah. As of last night. They're flying. They're still.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So they're 17-6, 6-5 in the Big 12. They're still 6th in the conference. And they're playing West Virginia Saturday, who's 7th in the conference.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty, man.
Yeah.
I was about to say something. I hope I don't. Just spoiler alert before I say it. This is a point you made on our previous attempt to record this podcast, so I'm just stealing it from you because it was a good one. But
I don't remember what it was. So
they've got West Virginia, then they've got BYU, who's really good, and they've got TCU. Just win West Virginia and TCU, and this is probably done. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much where we're at. They're that close.
Yeah, and that's where I think the next. So I think the next two they have West Virginia Saturday at home, TCU Tuesday at home, and then I think after that's BYU. So you're feeling a lot better if you win these next two before you take on a good BYU team that is still, because the Big 12 is crazy and because of what UCF's done so far, BYU's still behind UCF in the conference standings, which is something I didn't think I would say at any point, maybe ever.
It's still funny because so many of the graphics that just they use on the shows on TV and during games and stuff is just top 6 in the Big 12. And I sent you the UCF being there. It's like the meme. It's what the heck is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? Yeah. It's just so funny that they are remaining in the top 6. But no, it's been a fun season so far. And like I said, I get being pissed about the Cincinnati game. I also just hate it because it's Cincinnati and we all do not like them. But we got getting swept by them would have sucked. But them having the bad year and getting the win over Chom earlier in the year, it's just it's fine. It sucks that it happened. I'm annoyed that it happened, but it's not like the tournament hopes are on ice here or anything like that. All of a sudden, they won't be even if they lose to West Virginia. That's how much good work they did in the first half of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked a little bit last week, I think, about how well their Texas A&M win has aged. We've talked about how, or I don't know if we did, because we were trying to talk about it on yesterday's attempt at the podcast, but the win over Kansas has aged even better.
Yeah.
They're in a good spot. And right now, as of Tuesday's bracketology update from Joe Lunardi at ESPN, he has UCF as a 9 seed in Chicago against 8 seed Auburn. So
would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun. They're in a good spot because of the work they've done already. And like you said, it's almost just kind of surviving the rest of the season. And
that's literally
not falling apart. And the other thing is this 20-point loss that happened in Cincinnati. They've been blown out twice this season, and in both times it's come against a team who was backed against the wall, badly needed a win. It's just a weird scenario how that's played out, where it's UCF's almost gotten a little bit unlucky in that sense.
Yep.
That they've come up against really desperate teams at a couple points now, Iowa State and Cincinnati, and it didn't go well either time. But like you said, it's West Virginia on Saturday. Having that game at home is big. Both teams, I believe, have kind of this whole week off, so both teams will come in fresh. But I think this week off came at a good time.
Absolutely.
For UCF.
Now, the downside is West Virginia also has a week off, so no big advantage there. But absolutely for sure. So hopefully they can regroup and get the win, and they'll be rocking and rolling here. I mean, I'm feeling really good. There's always the chance that they blow it, but they're in pretty much every bracketology out there has them in close to lock territory. They just got to take care of business in the next 2 weeks, basically. And
what a crazy thing to even say, though.
I know, and it's really the Tech. And we talk about Kansas, and Kansas is the best one. It's really the Texas Tech win that did it, because that was just everyone projected that as a loss. So it was more just they'll lose that one, then we'll see what they do. Getting that win, having the 3-game win streak, coming back against Arizona State, going on the road and beating Colorado, it just set them up so well so early. It just gave them exactly what you want in college basketball in February, which is just so much margin for error. So it's okay to have that. You can absorb losses like what happened in Cincinnati. I say absorb again. They benefited from the loss, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where it's you give yourself margin for error, but you don't want to have to use all of it. So having this week, even though it's not they come into this game fresher, the fact that they got blown out, understandably blown out by a Houston team that is just insane, and then blown out by Cincinnati. Okay, like you need some time to kind of maybe regroup, and then you come back with 2 home games. So, yeah, I feel fine. Ask me again, I guess, next Thursday or so after these next 2 games, because things can swing in the wrong direction. Hopefully they don't, and we're not talking about anything like that. So, anything else on basketball?
Not UCF specific, but did you see the news that the conference announced today?
Oh yeah, I don't really understand it. I guess the NBA has used this court for All-Star games in the past. Is that not true? I thought somebody said that.
Is that true? I don't know. I don't really watch NBA All-Star Weekend, to be totally honest.
Neither do I.
I find it to be very boring. But yeah, they're using the ASB glass floor, which is UCF has this court on their practice court now. It's a court made of it's basically a screen essentially. So you can do whatever the hell you want. You can make whatever court designs you want. UCF's already tweeted some court design suggestions for them from their court on social media, like a blacktop court and stuff like that. Yeah. My issue with this is I think it's cool. They also said what I'm a little curious about is they said they're going to be doing stuff on they're not just going to have this for fun. Like they're going to be doing animations and stuff on the court while games are being played. Like there will be like reactions to like big plays and shots and stuff. I don't know we'll see how that looks from a TV perspective. I hope they've really played some like faux games on this court to test out what that actually looks like. My other thing is I'm not saying that this isn't tested out. Like I said, UCF's had it as a practice court, I believe, but if there is one bad injury in the tournament, everyone's just going to blame it on the court. So, and also on top of all this, Brett Yormark pitched this. He teased this a few days ago, like it was going to be the most tectonic announcement in the history of America. And it was that the court's going to have graphics. So like, I really wish you would stop doing stuff like that.
You sent me this and I said, this is very Big 12. Like this is,
yes.
And it has been. So I'm looking at it now that they used it for the NBA All-Star game in 2024 and it's been used in Europe. But this is, I think, the first time that official competitions in the United States will be played on one of these courts.
I mean, it's cool. Like, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, we'll see if they're like, if UCF players dribbling up the court and there's like a cute little sparkle following the ball or something, I'm going to get pissed and that's going to annoy me. But as long as it's
not, that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining something stupid. Like, I don't know. I guess it's cool. I'll reserve judgment until I watch a game with it. But right now,
I do think it would revolutionize court design. Like if this became the standard for schools to have this, like you can just decide, like you can just design a court in whatever in like Photoshop and be like, all right, we're gonna have that court. Like the blacktop court. I wish I had it loaded up. The blacktop court UCF tweeted looked incredible, and I'm like, that would be very cool.
Okay, you swung me in a different direction because I was gonna say like upon hearing this, I was like, this is something. Whatever, it's cool. I could have gone without it and never would have even thought like, oh, they should do this one day. But like, I guess, if it works and if it's not a giant disaster,
very low tech design. But there you go.
Like, move it over. There you go. You get the idea.
All right.
It looks good though. As did the former blacktop, but we don't need to rehash that conversation on this podcast.
That was one of our first like big things we tried
a couple years ago, right?
Get the blacktop back, and I still firmly am a believer in that. I've been given reasons why it can't happen, and I've chosen to ignore those reasons because I believe that the blacktop should return, and I will ignore all logic to make that happen.
It's like that, and then the black end zones was like one of those things where they're like, hey, here's why we don't do it, and I was like, okay, but it's cool. And then they started doing it for like the last month.
But the black end zones was a genuinely like job well done on UCF's part, because the whole issue that the reason they couldn't do black end zones is UCF, like, it's easy to do whatever you want. You have turf. UCF uses real grass, as they should. And the grass, if you paint the grass black, it dies. Dead. So what UCF figured out was, if we just do it late in the season, it will live long enough to get, like, they usually do it for the last like 2 or 3 home games.
Yeah, usually just for November.
I think it usually, it often like starts with the space game, and then they'll have it like the last couple. It's working perfectly. They've done that like I think the last 3 years running now. It's been perfect.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm okay. I'm okay seeing like Bethune-Cookman with green end zones. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'll get over it.
Yeah. See, football talk. On to a little bit of recapping what last weekend was for UCF softball and previewing this weekend. They started 5-1. They had one of their invitationals at the complex. They beat Boston University 13-0. They beat CSU Bakersfield 10-0. They lost 5-2 to number 16 Duke, and then they beat Maryland 15-7, Buffalo 12-2, and Maryland 9-1. They set records for their first 6 games of a season. The most run rule wins UCF has ever had in the first 6 games with 5, 61 runs scored, which is the 3rd most in the country right now, and 10-plus run games, which was 4. I'm happy with the way it started. The Duke game would have been nice. They started that game well. They were up 2-0. But this weekend's going to be a lot different. It's going to be a test.
I think you are correct. And
yeah,
which
is by design.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's always what the Clearwater Invitational is. And let's not undersell what a good first weekend it was for them. It was a really, really good first weekend. I mean, I have stats courtesy of Eric Lopez, who tweeted out 61 runs is the most ever by a UCF team through the first 6 games, surpassing 2021 in UCF. Five run rule wins just feels pretty good. And obviously we had Kendall Yarnell with 2 grand slams in 2 days. That's pretty good. I mean, it was a very, very productive first weekend. Sierra
Humphreys hit 600 over the weekend with 2 home runs, 9 runs.
Hey, is that good? I don't follow these. Is that good?
Very good. Izzy Mertes hit 3 home runs over the weekend, 12 RBIs. Yarnell, as you mentioned, 2 grand slams, hit 417. So, yeah.
Aubrey Evans is still Aubrey Evans. I mean, things are, it's
and
good.
So the offense obviously stole the show with 61 runs scored. But there was also the fact, I mean, like the first day, 2 shutout wins. They lost 5-2 to Duke, so a lower scoring game, more probably what you're going to see on a regular basis. The first Maryland game, they were down, I believe. They were down early. I know that. They were down several runs early, came back and ended up run ruling them with, I think, a 9-run 4th inning. So
yeah, they were down 4-2 and annihilated them from there.
Like you saw a lot of offense, which is good. You saw some pretty good pitching. You saw an ability to fight back. I think that's like almost a perfect opening weekend. Obviously, they lost the 1 game against a ranked team, but they're going to have opportunities this week for some marquee wins with the Clearwater Invitational. They actually play, as we're speaking, this is Wednesday. They play at home tonight against Missouri, which is funny. They always have that like early season Missouri home game, and it typically happens right before they go to Clearwater.
One of my favorite softball memories is from the early season Missouri game. You know what I'm talking about?
With Cartwright?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've told that story in the podcast.
I'm sure we have. That was maybe 3 years ago? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
I think it was. Oh, it was a long time now.
Was it longer? Might have been 4 years ago,
when I still lived there. It might have been 2021.
Actually, yeah, I bet it was 2021. So actually, most of you probably not heard this yet because we just started the podcast. We went. It's not that interesting of a story. I just laughed that we went to the UCF Missouri game because they always have this very often they have this game early in the season, and we went whatever, and we see Cartwright show up, and we go, look, there's Cartwright, new at the time, and also came from Missouri, right?
Yes.
And Cartwright comes in with his wife, I'm assuming his wife, and they go and they sit in the Missouri away visiting section with all the Missouri fans, and we're just looking at him like, you and me are debating, like, did he do that like intentionally? Like, is this like some like, I don't know, like he's from Missouri, like maybe and whatever. And then like after maybe like half an inning, they're just kind of looking around. They just like sort of get up and awkwardly move to the other side of the stadium and sit with UCF fans. And we're like, okay, it was a mistake. We're good. That was not the UCF president taking a stand against the softball team.
And thinking about it now too, like he was still relatively new at the time, so that might have been his first softball game.
Probably was. I think that was like his first year as president.
Yeah.
And to be fair, both teams have a variation of black and gold, so like it's an easy mistake to make. It's totally harmless. It was just really funny because I just remember sitting there and being like, "There's no way he intentionally."
We stopped watching the game.
Right.
We were
watching him. We were just fascinated. We're like, "What's he gonna do next?"
Yeah, no, it was great. They do go to Clearwater this weekend after the Wednesday night game against Missouri. I'll actually be there. I've been doing this. This is the 3rd year I'll be going to the Friday games, which has been fun. Actually, I wasn't supposed to go. Now that I think about it, I shouldn't be going. They always lose.
Oh, I was trying. You were saying this like you're a time traveler who's realized your mistake. But yeah, no, that's probably bad.
Yeah, I was supposed to not go.
Are you which games are you hitting up? Which games are you hitting up?
I'm going Friday, so I'm going against Northwestern and number 15 Georgia.
I'm amazed you're not going Saturday because they're playing LSU.
Yeah, so here's the weird thing, and nobody cares about this except for me. But the way that this has always been setting up,
I do know this. Sorry.
Okay. The weekend that this always falls on is usually the same weekend they do Rays Fan Fest, and I always go to that, and that's on Saturday. So yeah, if I'm gonna do both, I'll do the Friday. And so yeah, I'm going to Northwestern and number 15 Georgia. They play number 12 LSU and number 9 Nebraska on Saturday. So that's a big day. And then they finish up the weekend against NC State on Sunday. So I don't know. It's funny. I think a couple years ago I watched one of the games with Eric Lopez. Obviously does softball broadcasts, but with this being not a home game, he was in the stands. So we were talking, and
another
we're
one
just
of my
kind of like
favorite moments.
What?
One of my favorite softball moments is you and Eric Lopez watching the game together because you were both on camera the whole time.
Oh yeah,
behind home plate. So I'm just sitting in my living room watching you and Eric Lopez have a conversation,
and I'm
texting
like live
you,
texting,
and I'm watching you pull out your phone, look at my message, and put your phone away without responding. And I'm like, "Screw you, man."
I was in a conversation with Eric, and I think what he was saying, and typically what the case is with this kind of invitational where there's all these huge brands, all these really good ranked teams, is like you can nab a couple of wins over the weekend, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself because a gauntlet they face.
No, it's going to be let's be real. It's going to be a brutal weekend. They're going to lose some of these games. Spoiler alert, guys. But yeah, if you can snag even 2-3 of these, oh my God, you're sitting. That's a fantastic start to the season, setting you up well as we get into the meat of the schedule here. I'd
love them to beat Northwestern, NC State, and then grab one of the ranked wins. That'd be awesome. That'd be a fantastic weekend in my mind. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm just excited this is the time of the year that we're in, because there's that little lull when football ends, like especially lately, where it's like end of December. There's not a bowl game to talk about. We're watching basketball. At least basketball has kept us kept me interested this long. And then I'm a huge baseball fan, big softball fan. So I'm just excited to have these games on my TV at a given moment. So
it's also, if you're listening to this and you're not like the biggest softball fan in the world, or following the non-rev sports isn't your thing or whatever, that's totally fine. But I do think part of what makes some of this stuff interesting too is this has been a pretty interesting year for UCF athletics. You've had a lot of success. Men's soccer had a very good season. Women's soccer had a very good season. Volleyball had a surprisingly good season in the first year under new coach. They were much more competitive than they've been at the Big 12 level. Men's basketball has surprised the hell out of us. If softball and baseball can get rolling too, it's like suddenly you're just sort of sitting back and you're going, hey, Big 12 transition kind of worked out.
Yeah, so, except for football.
Except for the one sport people care about, but everything else is doing well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know softball's been to the tournament how many 5 years in a row right now, I think.
Yeah,
can't remember if it's 5 or 6.
Back to 2020.
2020. So yeah,
I think so.
They've been on a good run. Baseball
2021. I think they missed in 2020. But
2020 was COVID.
There was no. Yeah. And did they make it in 2019? I don't think they did.
I don't remember.
I'll look it up really quick.
But I know they hosted the regional, I think 2022, made it back in 23, 24, and 25. So yeah, it's been a good run for them. Baseball did make the tournament last year, but made it the year before in Rich Wallace's first year. So
they missed in 2019. I was right about that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think
Rich Wallace. It's just pick which season you want to say is the Rich Wallace UCF baseball, because you've got one really great season and one really awful season.
It's the scary thing where it's like, yeah, they actually last year was probably, I can't remember now. I'm remembering it as maybe worse than it was, but I want to say it might have been worse than like it ever got under Lovelady. But it's scary in that like we had the thing with Lovelady where they made the tournament in his first year. Then they were a bubble team for like 2 or 3 years after that, and then they kind of fell off. And so,
but what made it even weirder, and I need someone, maybe we need to go get like Emptiness to explain this to us or something, because like one thing that made it even last season weirder is they did the Lovelady thing where they got a bunch of like really impressive wins before conference play. Like they won the series with USF. They beat Florida. They beat a top 10 Florida team.
They always beat Florida though.
This is true, but they beat Florida. They beat Miami. They win a series with USF, and then they get to conference play, and it's like, whoops, sorry. Like it was so exactly what the complaints were under Lovelady, and I just don't have the knowledge to know why that's a thing. By the way, sun setting, the light on my face through my blinds, driving me insane, but there's nothing I can do about it. So
I noticed it like 2 minutes in, and I was like, I wonder if he's going to say anything, because it looks like it would be so bothersome.
It's driving, like right now, you can see when it
gets
in your eyes. It's driving me insane. I'm just trying to hold it together, man. But it started over here, and it was like moving. I didn't process that it was going to move across my face. That's the sunset.
Yeah, this is going super well, but yeah, all right. Softball, like I said, Clearwater Invitational this weekend. They have another invitational. I think they call it the Space U Classic. That's next weekend back at the complex.
There's some big teams in that actually too, aren't there?
I believe so. I'm gonna have to come back to Orlando at some point soon. We're gonna have to go to a game.
Yeah, I'm really one of those weekends.
We gotta do one of those weekends where we do a softball game and a baseball game or something.
I am like unbelievably down. We should do that soon.
Yeah, we should.
Hey, we actually
all right.
well, okay, wait.
No,
Yeah, we're not going to do plans on the podcast. I just realized there's a weekend that we should try to target because there's something else that weekend too. But anyway, yeah.
All right, let's talk about that after the podcast. I don't even know what you're referring to.
It's nothing. It's just there's other plans that we could combine. It's fine. We'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Now on to our, as you called it, our UCF baseball preview, which is ranking the jerseys because they came out with a cool edit. Actually got like national attention because I saw Kendall Rogers quote tweeted it. He's the D1 baseball guy. And yeah, we got to look at the 8 different jerseys that UCF has for this 2026 season. And we have, if you're listening on the audio version and you want to see them, we're going to have them up here on the screen over on YouTube. So, what?
I don't know. I didn't realize I just liked hearing you go, if you're listening to the audio version and you want to see the jerseys, we're going to have them up on the screen. I'm like, well, that's not going to help the audio listeners, but yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, if they want to come over to YouTube, yeah.
So yeah, if you're like me, I listen to podcasts when I drive. That's my favorite time to listen to podcasts. I've actually gotten in a really bad habit, Bailey, and I figure you'll laugh at this because I'm a big podcast guy. I listen to, I say as a host, I listen to a lot of podcasts. And there was one podcast that I was coming home from work that was just really, and it wasn't even a sport. It was like a history podcast. And I was like really in on it. Like I was like, oh, I wonder how this is going to end. And so I just started like driving around aimlessly. Like I got to my apartment. I was like, well, I'm not ready because I have to finish this. So I just started like driving around East Orlando.
I think I did something similar. I don't know if I was listening to a podcast or if I was listening to just a song that I wanted to finish. But I was like going over to my parents' house, I think. And I just started driving around their neighborhood because I wanted to finish.
Sometimes you're not ready. But anyway,
I want to say one more thing that's not related. Well, it's related to that, but not related to anything we're talking about. On the flip side, one of the best things is like when you park or when you're parking and you pull in somewhere and the song or like something finishes right at the perfect time. One of life's small.
I don't like that because I listen to music like very, very loudly in my car. So when I'm listening to music, like once I'm into the residential area, I have to turn it down. So like I'm just annoyed. So I don't really get that fun experience.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Anyway, the point of this all was to say is if you're like me and you're in your car listening and you want to see the actual visuals, go ahead wherever you are. If you're on the 408, if you're at a McDonald's, just pull over and pull up YouTube. And
yeah,
we're at 3227. Go there and you'll see.
I do this every time we do rankings. I always forget to ask you how we want to do this.
Well, this is interesting. Do we want to go uniform by uniform and say where we ranked them, or do we want to like 8, 7, 6?
I like how you said this is interesting, and then presented the same like choice that we always have.
That we haven't been able to answer in a consistent way since 2021.
Yeah, no, we never do. I think I never know what's better. That's the problem. That's the reason I never really have it just settled like this. We should do this way. Because I don't know what's better.
Why don't we just do, I'll give my 8, you give your 8. No, because then we'll have to discuss things twice.
No,
all right, let's go uniform by uniform and we'll say where we ranked it.
Yeah, just pull one and you're going to pull one up visually. Yeah, let's do that.
Stupid. Okay.
No, because then if we say 8 and I say I pick this one, you pick a different one, and we're going to look at 2 different uniforms.
Okay.
It's going to get confusing.
Sure.
I think.
Okay. So should I just pull these up in the order I uploaded them? It's just random.
Yeah, if it's random, then good.
Okay. And don't worry, audio listeners. Don't worry. I've got you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to describe these in depth when they're up. So
good.
Don't worry. First one up, we have what I have dubbed the White Knights uniform. It is an all-white uniform, white jersey, white pants. It has got the Script Knights logo in black across the chest with a gold outline, and it has the number font that UCF does not use anymore in black.
Yeah, it's funny that you started with this one because we just did the whole like, how are we going to do this? I have this last. I have this 8th.
I also have this 8th.
So we're starting off doing it both ways.
There's nothing wrong with it. I want to say from the outset, I think UCF baseball is an incredibly well-dressed team, and I really, really like all of the uniforms, and I think this is an excellent set. Now, they cut a couple uniforms this year from last year that I liked a lot, and I'm disappointed are gone. One was the all black with that, like, it was like their version of night mode, basically. It was all black and gold with a gold UCF, and there was a black jersey with a Script Knights version that they cut, which sucks. But, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It's a good uniform. It's just last for me because there's a lot of other good stuff they have.
Yeah, and I think part of it for me too is like we'll get onto them, but like I think there's 3 white jerseys. Yeah, and this is my least favorite one of them, and I figure like I would use a 3rd black jersey over a 3rd white one, especially so this is the 3rd white one, and this is like I want to say 3rd or 4th Script Knights one. It's like,
yes,
it just
there's
feels,
a lot of scripts.
it's not that I don't like it, but I feel like it's kind of unnecessary.
They have 4 scripts jerseys. They have a
Yes.
white one, a gold one, a black one, and a gray one. Which I actually don't hate, because I think the script logo, don't forget, this logo originated with baseball. They were the first team to use this, so like I'm cool with that. But yeah, it's just they have 3 white jerseys, and the other 2 I feel are far better than this one. But it's still a good jersey. Nothing wrong with it.
That's why I have last. I like the other 2 white jerseys better, and I like all of the other script Knights better than this one. Yeah. So unfortunately, it ends up at 8, but I still like it.
I'm just doing this again. This is random order. This is just the order I uploaded the photos, which Bailey can attest to was nonsensical because I had to do it 3 times due to tech issues. Next up, we have Space. If you are audio version, this is a Canaveral blue jersey with a block Space U across the chest. The space is white. The U is black. It's in that Space font that you've used a lot. And this is another different number font from the last one, but also not the number font they're currently using in athletics. It's like a spacey font, I guess. That's the jersey. Bailey, where do you have it?
I have it at 5th.
I also have it at 5th.
At some point, we're going to differentiate. I know.
What if we don't? What if we don't? What if we crush?
That'd be weird.
That'd be cool.
I'd, in a weird way, like, be proud of myself in a way, because I'd be like, because you're like the uniform guy. And it's like, if we have similar uniform opinions, I'd be like, all right, I kind of know ball a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is there are other people who consider themselves uniform people and they hate my opinion. So I don't know if you need to feel that way. But yeah, I thought 5th was a good place for that. I'm glad they do Space. We don't talk enough about how cool it is that every UCF athletics team essentially has a Space uniform at this point and does a Space game. That's a fairly recent development. I think that might be like 3 years old. It was football only for years. Then I think men's basketball got it first. And now it's expanded out to everything. That being said, this isn't my favorite of the Space jerseys across campus. It's also not my favorite that baseball's worn. It was their all black Citronauts one from a few years ago. It's my favorite. They were the first ones to really lean into Canaveral blue. Do you remember that? They had the all Canaveral blue hats, blue jerseys, blue pants, which became a whole social media kerfuffle because it started like that became a national story because all these people were like, I'm so sick of the trend of like all these random baseball schools thinking they can just wear powder blue. And UCF fans had to be like, that's not what this is. Like, we use this color in all our sports. Like, it's the same color.
Was that also the same year? Because they do what Citronaut Saturdays, I think it was. Was that the same year where they just could not win a Citronaut Saturday?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I forgot about that. It got so bad that like a big talking point on UCF social media was like, do they need to give up on this? Because they just couldn't win in the Space jerseys. They were like the anti-football. It was unbelievable.
Their record was so bad in them. I don't remember exactly.
That might have been Love Ladies last year, actually, now that I think about it. I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like this one, I like it. I like the Space U.
Yep.
I like the Canaveral blue. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's a good one, but it's not the best thing I've ever seen.
I think a Space-specific hat might elevate it for me. And to be totally clear, in this, all of these photos are from the video UCF put up, and like they're wearing just the same hat across every uniform except one. I obviously know they have more than 1 or 2 hats, so I'm not worried. I'm sure there will be some kind of Space hat, most likely.
They've done, and I think they've done a Citronaut hat, right?
Which I purchased. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. I thought that's the thing. It's a Citronaut hat with this one. I think would elevate.
We went to that weird little van they have inside the stadium that has stuff in it, and I purchased a hat.
I think I'm actually curious, and no one else cares about this, but this is our podcast. If you went through all of the hats that you own, I'm curious to know what percentage of them I've been with you when you've purchased them.
Not this one.
Not that one. I know that.
Not this one.
I know that.
I think you've been there for every other hat I own.
It's like it's funny too because like I think about the one that I wasn't with you, but I bought the Bears.
I was going to say it's the Bears hat that you got for me. That's the other one that I don't think you were there for. I was going to say a gift. I paid you for it, but you were in Chicago and got me the hat.
Yeah.
Which I love. That's probably my favorite hat I own. I can't. I'm literally going through all my hats right now. I think you've been there for all of them.
Because we go to Alumni Hall all the time, and you're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a hat. So
this predates Alumni Hall which I love Alumni Hall, by the way. But even before Alumni Hall, whenever you were in town, or even when you lived here, we'd go to the bookstore. Like I just would very rarely be in a place where UCF hats are sold without you. So I feel like you've been there for all of my hat purchases.
Well, it's even funnier too. Is like you came to a Rays game last year and you bought a Rays hat, and I felt it was just like standard. Like he buys hats. He buys hats whenever I'm with him at a store.
Yeah, but then you like made that weird because you got kind of like moody with me about buying the Rays hat.
No, that's not true. I didn't get moody with you. I asked you, are you buying that? I asked you your motives behind buying it.
You said to me, are you buying that as a joke? And it was like a $70 hat. And I was like, I don't think jokes are that funny.
Well, I did ask you if you were buying this joke because you were heavy on the Orlando Rays thing at the time.
I was. And I did intentionally buy a hat that didn't have Tampa in it anywhere.
I know. And you knew it was bothering me. And I asked you at the time, like, what were your motives? And you were like, no, I just wanted a hat. I wanted a Rays hat.
Yes.
And then, like, last week, you were like, yeah, I bought that because of the Orlando Rays thing. So you lied to me at the time. I
didn't lie to you. I thought that was obvious. Of course I bought it because I wanted.
And I asked you, and you were like, no, I just wanted to get a hat.
That does sound like a thing I'd say. But hey, Orlando Rays is like vaguely back on now. Like it's still up in the air. So I don't know. I might get my hat in the end.
You might get your hat. You still have it. You're like, you said you put it away.
I was wearing it for a little bit. And then when because remember that died, like they were like, oh, we have a new ownership, whatever. I stopped wearing the hat. I put it away. And like, just in the last few weeks when like, now that the rumors are up again, I'm like, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to wear the hat.
Nope.
All right.
This is also going to revive Trace texting me Orlando Rays just whenever he feels like it because he's mean.
Which we are actually being really mean because you care deeply for the Tampa Bay Rays, but I also believe in Orlando dominance over Tampa, and I find it ridiculous. We only have one of the big four sports, and they get 3, and they're Tampa. Give me a break. It should be 2-2. Anyway, next one up. Gold. Brian Peterson. You can probably hear him screaming from his house from here. So we have, if you are an audio version, this is the gold UCF baseball jersey they revealed last year. This is the number font that they no longer use. It is the new gold. This is the gold that is used in the football jerseys, and it's got a black script knights across the chest. Pretty much it. Pretty simple design. Really just leaning to the gold. Where do you have this one, Bailey?
7th.
We finally aren't right. I have it at 6th.
Okay. I don't have I think we talked about this last year. I'm actually surprised you have it higher than I do. So I thought I liked it.
That too because I was like taking some heat for not liking this when they revealed it.
Yeah. So I thought at the time I definitely liked it more than you did, and I thought as much as we talk about how you cannot really do a gold jersey, I think this is the best you can do with it. I think. I like the black script knights a lot.
I do too.
I don't. Yeah. Again, this is with all of these. I don't not like it. It just doesn't fall as highly as some of the other ones for me.
It's just the same complaint I always have with it. I'm just not a gold jersey guy. I think it's very, very hard to make it look good really through any texture. I think that baseball lends itself to having a gold jersey better than most other sports because that's just so normal for baseball teams to have a bunch of alternates in different colors, both at the collegiate and pro level. So it's just not a big deal. Like the Rays were 19 colors. It's fine. So it's fine to have it. I felt like they were wearing it way too much last year. I think they were wearing it every Sunday or something.
It feels like a Sunday thing. So, I mean, I don't necessarily have as much of a problem with that because I think that kind of just is a baseball thing where it's they have specific days of the week where it's they were doing this on Saturdays. But I think even it's the thing that LSU does. They do gold on Sundays. They wear the gold jerseys on Sundays. And for the longest time, I don't know if they still do it, but the Rays would do their light blue jerseys they would do, or Columbia blue, they would do them on Sundays. So it's I think it kind of just is one of their alternate days. And also they play during the day. And I know that's not a big thing, but I feel like they wear their lighter colors. They also have white, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Like I said, it's whatever. I'm not protesting it. I also like the hat they wear with it. They always pair it with the State of UCF hat.
That's the thing is they consistently pair them that's that hat with it, right?
I don't think they've ever worn it without that hat. It's a look.
Which I like too because obviously there's gold. The state of Florida on the hat is gold, so I like to
Yeah.
I think it ties it together.
Like I said, I didn't rate it last. It's just not my favorite.
No, I'm curious. I think I know now which one's going to be 7 for you, and we're going to be wildly different on it. So I'm curious.
I don't think you do.
No.
Because I feel like you told me you didn't care for this.
Oh, okay.
But maybe I'm misremembering.
Maybe we have. All right. Well, let's just go to the next one.
Guess we'll see. Next one is the black script Knights jersey. Again, if you're an audio listener, don't worry. I've got your back. It is a black jersey. I actually really like this. It's kind of an unusual design for a baseball jersey, especially for UCF. And I like it. It's got a black script Knights on a black jersey, but with a gold outline. And the number is the same. This is also the number font that UCF doesn't use anymore. But it's a black numbers on a black jersey, but it's outlined in gold. Where do you have this, Bailey?
This is my favorite one. It's number 1 for me.
This is number 2 for me. So we're once again very close together. We're matched up pretty well on these.
What's pretty hilarious is you and I were talking about baseball uniforms a couple weeks ago, and I started kind of just going back and looking at some of my favorites, and I saw this jersey from last year, and I did not remember it. I texted it to
Again, I need emptiness to correct us, but I don't think they wore this a ton last year because they had the other They had another black jersey that was a Script Knights, but it wasn't the black on black. It was like a white Script Knights with gold.
And that's the problem is like I was looking through all of their old like media tweets like from last season, and I saw it on one of their like lineup graphics. I saw like one picture of it from a game, and I was trying to find more because you and I both like didn't really remember it.
Yeah,
and I was like, I love this.
Man.
Seeing it pop back up when they did the reveal yesterday, I was like, yeah, this is the one. Like, this is my favorite one, and it's why I'm not overly upset that they're not running back the kind of the night mode one that they did last year with like.
I liked it for a change of pace, but yeah, it's not like this one to me like screams Friday night. I don't know why. Like it just something about it.
Yeah, I think I agree.
It's really
like
sharp.
it a lot.
Just feels like a nice under the lights jersey.
And it's funny because like I have two of the. It's before they started selling the Nike baseball jerseys, but I have two of the baseball jerseys that are actually a better material than the ones they sell now. And I have the white Orlando one, and I have the. Well, I guess I don't even remember if it's one they wore or not. Now that it's all running together in my head, but you've seen it on the podcast before because I wore it to like almost every football game. It was the black, and it had white. It was a white Script Knights, and I think it had a gold outline on the white. So I don't know. I like this the most. I love it. This is my favorite one.
It would be so funny if we do this whole podcast based off this video and then the season starts and they're like, whoops, we forgot to include some in the video. We still have these other ones. We just didn't do them. But yeah, this is a really good one. This is a good like primary black jersey, I feel like.
Yeah, I love it.
On to the next. We have their gray uniform. It is a gray jersey, black Script Knights and a gold outline across the chest, and black numbers in the font that they actually use now. So we're up to 3 fonts so far.
Yeah.
I know, guys, this is such a me thing. I've been texting Bailey about this. It's just the nature of it because they had softball is the worst offender of this by a mile. And I love softball's uniforms, but it's driving me insane. Softball is still wearing uniforms with the old blocky number font from like 2021 back. They also are wearing uniforms with the number font they switched to from 2022 to 2024. And they have a couple with the new number font. And it's like, I know no one cares except me, but it is absolutely driving me insane. Like I know that it can't be helped. I know it can't be helped, but it's driving me crazy. But anyway.
You brought it up to me yesterday, and I was like, see, I don't think it bothers me that much. And then I could just tell it's still, like, it really is one thing that's sticking with you.
Yes.
I have this one third.
And this is where I knew we were going to differ. This is my number one.
Really?
I told you yesterday before we recorded, I said, I think I have a stupid number one because it's extra dumb because there's nothing interesting. Like, every baseball team has a gray jersey. This is a baseball thing. This is not a UCF thing. I just freaking love this for some reason.
I'm stunned by this.
I know, dude. I am too.
Dude, I thought – so when I said I thought I knew where we were going to differ, I thought this was going to be 7 for you. I have it at 3.
I think I am totally being influenced by how much I miss pewter. And I totally get that. But like this color combo, I think gray and gold and black look so goddamn cool together.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I know this is dumb. I know this is just the gray jersey that every baseball team has to carry and that this is an unhinged ranking. Don't get mad at me. I know it's an unhinged ranking. It just looks so cool. I just really
that's where I'm surprised. We've had this, and this maybe is a little bit of an evolution of just your opinions, but I remember, and it obviously wasn't this uniform itself, but I think it was they just had like a stack, a gold stack on their other old.
I didn't like that one
years ago. I knew you didn't like that one, and you were like, I just don't see why they have a gray one. I'm like, it's literally a baseball thing. Like it's just the road grays are just a thing. And I remember that conversation. So when this popped back up and I ranked it 3rd, I was like, I feel like Christian's
that old one bothered me because it was literally just a template gray jersey that they slapped a gold UCF stack onto. And I think there was also like piping, which I didn't like on it, if I remember right too.
Yeah, and that's what it was kind of just a classic baseball style jersey. Yeah. Like it has the piping down the middle and the logo was here. I don't remember if it had a number on the
really boring. It was just really, really boring. And
that's why
creative.
I remember disagreeing at the time because I was like, it just feels like a classic baseball uniform to me, and that's why I liked it. So, yeah, interesting.
Now, stack on the sleeve where it belongs. I don't know. Black and gray forward with gold accents is always going to hit for me, man. So I have an unhinged number one.
No, I don't blame you at all for it. I like it, and I have it at 3. So cool.
All right, on to the next. We have the black throwback faux back. Is this a faux back? I don't think they ever actually wore this.
I think it's a faux back.
I think it's a faux back. So anyway, they're expanding on their throwback lineup. This is an all black jersey. It's got the white. I don't know. I don't want to call it a stack UCF. It is a stack logo, but it's the throwback stack UCF that UCF baseball was known for wearing when I was like a kid that they brought back last year. So this is, and it's got white block numbers. Again, it's a throwback font. So we're introducing another font here. We're at 4 now. Bailey, where do you have it?
This one I have at 6.
I have it 7.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the one that we were referencing earlier, where we talked about it yesterday over text, and something about the logo, it's too thick for me.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that. But something about both the jersey, like the logo and the number, it's too big. I don't know. It's weird.
I get that. And again, for the record, I like all 8. I don't dislike this. I think it's cool to have in the lineup. I don't mind having the 2 versions of the throwback. It's just nothing special to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get on to the one where they kind of have a different version of this logo, but I like the other version that we're going to see in a minute.
Well, I'll tell you what
it's just a little skinnier.
Is happening. Hold on really quickly. I'm going to surprise everyone and pull up the other one because I want to look at it for a second. Yeah, here's what's happening. There's a gold outline on the stack UCF. So the problem is when it's white on a black background, the gold and white blend, like just kind of bleed together. So the logo looks thicker than it really is.
So there is an outline on this one? Maybe that's what I'm missing.
I think that's what's going on. Let me really quickly try to find another photo of it, but I'm almost
because this whole time I've thought there was no outline on this and that it was just kind of like overly.
Yes, I'm looking at a close-up photo. There is a gold outline on the white. So just if you're not staring close up at it, it just bleeds in. So the logo just looks thicker than it should be. That's exactly why you're feeling that way.
Doesn't change my ranking, obviously, because like I'm not going to be ever really looking at them super close. But
sure.
I don't know. Like I like the black pants. I know we're ranking jerseys, but I like having the all black look. That's cool. But
this is a really specific thing too. But like I like jerseys that have buttons in baseball.
Yeah.
I
can't tell. Does this one have them or no?
This one has buttons. Okay. That's points for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Most of them do, right?
I think a lot of their set doesn't actually.
Now I get That's actually interesting. That's not normal, I don't think, at all.
I'm trying to think which ones don't have buttons. I know at least like 2 don't have buttons, right?
I don't remember. We'd have to go back.
I really feel like the gold ones don't have buttons. Now I'm in my head. I'm like, maybe they all have buttons, and I've lost my mind. Yeah, I think they all have buttons. I think I've just gone crazy. I think it's what I like is when the buttons stand out, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
so you had this one.
That was a you don't know ball moment for me, but in my defense, I really don't watch baseball.
You had this one 7?
Yep.
Okay, that's 6.
Next up, the white version. This is what we just talked about, except it's a black and gold throwback stack UCF with a throwback number font. It's white and it's got pinstripes. I love me some pinstripes.
I have it at 2.
Oh, I have it at 4th. Okay. We're diverging a little bit.
Yeah, I just pinstripes, contrary to the fact that I hate the New York Yankees. Pinstripes just work. It's such a baseball, like classic baseball look. And of all the white uniforms they have, this one to me stands out as like my absolute favorite. I know it's a throwback, so it's not going to be like one of their standard white. And I think I know the standard white one we'll get onto, which I also, for a lot of reasons, like. But I don't know. I just think it's a classic look. It's a
really good look. I like it a lot. I like it a lot too. I don't want my ranking to make people think that I have. Again, reminder: Bailey added at 2nd. I added at 4th. It's a good uniform. I like the other white one more, which is I don't know if you remember this, Bailey. We'll get on it. An evolution for me because I did not like it when they first revealed it, but it's really good on me. But yeah, this is a nice throwback look. I hope we don't see this one. They've been wearing the new black one a lot for like promo stuff, for some of their like I don't know what these are, like preseason games or scrimmages or whatever.
Just
I hope this one doesn't disappear in favor of the black one because this is really sharp. I love pinstripes, man. Do you remember when we were in college? They had that one pinstripes one that I really liked, but I can't quite picture in my head right now.
The black, it was the black Knights word mark with a thicker one, back the old style logo.
Yes, that's what it was.
And it had black on the sleeves. Yeah.
Yes. That was really good.
Yeah.
That and they had a white one that had the Pegasus on the chest.
I loved that one.
Stuff, man.
I missed that one a lot.
Yeah, they got to do a version of that again. That was one of the best uniforms I think any UCF team has worn. That one was fantastic. Yep.
Yeah.
Should we do the final one?
Yeah.
It is the Orlando one. It is the new number fonts that they have switched to. It is a white jersey. Obviously, it's got a big block black Orlando across the chest, and the A right on the center of the chest is the Golden Knighthead logo.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Bailey.
The only space I have left for it, and I have it at 4.
I have it at 3. We matched up pretty well throughout this. There was like one crazy outlier, and that was pretty much it.
I don't even know if there was, really.
Can't remember. Don't care. This one, I remember when they dropped this, I was quite unsure of it. I historically am not a huge fan of colleges wearing their city names I don't know. It's just not something that really hits for me. I know that UCF and Orlando are very synonymous to a lot of people. I was just kind of like, I want to see UCF rep. And obviously, I don't think UCF would want to be wearing this for a regional game or something because you want your brand out there. But it's just a nice uniform.
I think they would.
Would you say?
I said I think they would wear it in a regional.
I don't agree.
They have it on the hat. They have the stack on the hat.
And I guess do they really have? They don't have a non-throwback jersey that has the UCF. They don't have a jersey with the stack logo on the chest anymore. Huh?
No, they don't.
Okay. Well, I don't like that. They shouldn't do that.
Now that so I know you said earlier it'd be kind of fun if we did this whole episode and they just I almost feel like that's going to happen. They're going to have a couple other ones.
That feels crazy to not have any. They have it on the sleeves of these, but to not have a single jersey that has your.
So that's now that we talk about that. Now I do miss the night mode looking one.
Yeah,
because that is weird. But I almost think part of it is. And I think it's just like a baseball, maybe baseball and softball thing, but the word mark across the chest is far more common than a logo like that. Because it's always going to be, as it is on throwback ones, it's going to be up, positioned up on the chest rather than across the chest. Right. So yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I like this. It works for me. It's cool. It's a little unusual. It's probably the most unusual jersey that any UCF team wears. It's a little offbeat from their usual brand. I like it.
What's funny, I know obviously it's a difference is it's on a jersey, but the evolution of colleges wearing, your thoughts on colleges wearing their city name, the hat you have on right now is the Orlando.
Oh, I bought the hat, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm wearing if you're on audio, I'm wearing the hat that has this exact logo. I like I don't know. I'm also a big I don't know why people are proud of where they come from, with cities and stuff. It's always weird when I meet someone there, oh, I'm from St. Louis. I'm a big St. Louis guy. And it's why? But again, I do feel that way about Orlando. I'm a vicious Orlando defender.
I have a very complicated relationship with my city.
Yeah, because it's bad. I get that. You come from a really bad city, so you have to
But I don't. It used to be so much better. I don't want to get into it right now, but
I don't even know what that means because I know very little. I've only been
everyone from up north just moved down here during COVID, and
is that a thing? See, I'm learning about Tampa. I was also about to say I've only been to Tampa a handful of times. That's a lie. I've been to Tampa many, many times throughout my life. That was just a complete fabrication.
But also with this one, last thing I have on this one is this is the other one I mentioned that I have. Not the Nike version, obviously, but I have the white. Actually, it's funny. I was wearing it yesterday when we were trying to do the podcast yesterday. And I was going to do the whole oh, look what I'm wearing. But then today I didn't wear it. So.
I feel like your Tampa take is significantly driven by what attendance looks like for Bucks games when they're playing.
It's not, though.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
That's part of it. And it's actually less so Bucks games, more so I'd say Rays games. But
Rays, yeah.
It's also just the way things have changed. There are just a bunch of people who have moved down here and they're now influencers, Tampa influencers, and they aren't from here.
Okay.
Well, they're just TikTok or Instagram or wherever trying to be oh, here's this hidden gym in Tampa. And it's no, that's not a hidden gym. That's the most common place to go of all time.
I will tell you, there is a I don't know. We're just at this point, guys, we're just talking. But there is hidden gem in quotes in Orlando that drives me crazy. Do you know what it is?
No.
Lazy Moon. I'm so sick of people acting like Lazy Moon is sort of hidden thing. Always, constantly a thing.
People call it that?
Constantly. Yes.
Because I feel I've seen it in reference to UCF. I see people say that's the spot you have to go to.
You can't be a hidden gem when everyone knows what you are. That's not the way hidden gem works. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
No, that's true. But yeah, anyway, I like this one. This one I have at 4. But
good uniform.
Yep. That oddly, that took more time than any of the other things, but I think it worked as a preview. We mentioned to be our baseball preview. Now I'm just excited to watch all these games and see what they're going to wear for these different games. So
yep, me too, man.
That'll be fun. Yeah. I say all that and I'm oh, I have to do the news now, and I just close my phone. Anyway, yeah, real quick, football news. Only bit of news that I have here. Shaquille Griffin and Amari Kite are Super Bowl champions. The Seahawks beat the Patriots on Sunday in a pretty boring game, defensive-driven game. So yeah, I know. I saw did you see Herb Hand's tweet? I thought that was pretty cool.
No, I did not actually.
Anymore. Amari Kite FaceTimed him in the locker room after the game.
Oh, that's cool.
And so
I miss Herb Hand, man.
Me too. Awesome. Yeah. It's funny because I saw that tweet and I felt such an immense UCF. And then I was like, oh wait, Herb Hand's not here anymore. But still,
who wouldn't call Lazy Moon a hidden gem? Herb Hand.
Herb Hand.
Yep.
Yeah. That's been a long running thing about us on this podcast is that we know that Herb Hand has just the best taste in food.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something about it. I don't know. It's offensive line coach thing, I think, in general.
I think so.
I think that's it. Because that is, to be fair, that's like the bonding thing for offensive linemen is going out to eat. Probably more so than any other position. Game of the week, UCF men's basketball. We talked about them earlier. 17-6, 6-5 in the Big 12. Home on Saturday against West Virginia, who is 15-9, also 6-5 in the Big 12. That game will tip off at 6 o'clock on FS1. So again, we talked about it earlier. A big one that we wouldn't call a must win, but it'd be very, very, very nice to win it and kind of get back on track here. So tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week this week goes to Big 12 Studios at Big 12 Studios, which is one of the Big 12 accounts. I don't know what the hell to make of this guy. So they've been tweeting graphics like hyping up the portal classes of different Big 12 teams. And they tweeted UCF graphic, portal editions ready for the bounce house. They tweeted the portal, and it says portal class UCF key additions. Alonzo Barnett, not a key addition, according to Big 12 Studios. Keewan Jenkins, though, backup quarterback coming in from FIU, is a key addition. So is LHSC Herald, who I think is like the lineman we're least excited about them bringing in. So is Duke Watson, who, again, I think there's an argument that he is behind Chambers as far as how much to the running backs. I don't understand the missing Alonzo Barnett and putting Keewan Jenkins. Let's just focus on that. That is I don't get how that possibly happens. I really don't get. I don't know if you ChatGPT this or what to put this list together. This is crazy.
The scary thing is that you might be right. You might be on the right track on that. They might have done that.
I can just read it in front of me. Absolutely. I'd love to put together a list of the top portal acquisitions for UCF. They got FIU starting quarterback, Keewan Jenkins. I can see it. And
I don't know how that kind of stuff happens. Obviously we talked at length about how early in the cycle that Alonzo Barnett one was. So maybe it just somehow got lost in the shuffle for them. Or for ChatGPT.
If you are running a social media account for a conference, I expect you to know who the starting quarterbacks are for the teams. That's a very low bar. And
that's the thing is that's the glaring one. I know the LHSC Herald one is whatever. Duke Watson, I would agree on the Duke Watson thing, except when they had that press conference, both Frost and Mossberger both seem to be really high on him.
I know. I fear we may be wrong. I think he's going to be better than we were anticipating. Artavius Jones is kind of weird too on the graphic. The whole graphic is honestly strange. But
But not having the starting quarterback and having the backup is funny. I don't know. You just use it as bulletin board material. They don't care enough about
softball's getting underway. By the way, should we just stay on? Let's have this be an hour and 3 hour podcast.
I gotta leave. But
let's just live talk the softball game.
Is there an early update, or are you just saying they just started?
They're about to start.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you had a score or something. All right. Well, no, we're not going to stay on here.
Hey, subscribe to the premium tier of Pegasus Podcast, and we'll tell you.
We'll do live watch alongs.
Missouri game.
We do a live watch along with the softball game. No, I actually have to leave, so can't do that. That would be fun one day. I don't know if anybody would watch it, but
do a live
a live watch along of just something. I don't know what.
I don't want to commit to that because I think that I don't want to commit.
I don't think you can. I think it would be fun if it wasn't with you. That wouldn't work. I don't think it would work.
I'm not a fun person to watch. I get a lot of anxiety watching UCF sports, and I tend to be very angry and upset for the vast majority of the game. There was a time where you, me, and our friend Sarah, we were watching UCF's game in the Crown, and I was it was the Cincinnati game, and I was losing my mind, and I jumped up and yelled something, and you guys both laughed at me, and I turned around. You guys are my best friends. I turned around that moment, and I thought in my head, I was I could go the rest of my life with never speaking to these people again and die happy. I was so upset.
I vaguely remember that, but I don't remember why, what it was so specifically funny about.
I think I just jumped up in a weird way because UCF hit a big shot or something. I hop sometimes when I get upset, and I think I was hopping. And you guys were laughing, and I wasn't mad that you were making fun of me. I was mad that you weren't taking the game seriously. Like, that's what my holdup was. It had nothing to do with, I don't want to give the impression it wasn't me being made fun of. How can you be laughing at a time like this was like where my head was at. So yeah, maybe we don't do a watch.
Yeah, maybe not. All right. That idea is dead already, but all right. We'll be back next week with episode 319. Hey, we made it through an episode. We made it through and it worked. And
we beat the odds.
You beat the sun. The sun is no longer in your face.
Yes.
And it is time to go. We will be back next week with episode 319. Until then, you can find us on Twitter at BaileyJAdams22, at by Simmons, at Night Sports Now, and at Pegasus Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.